Hello and welcome back to Morning Coffee Light Roast. For this episode, I'm going to be doing something a little different. As mentioned before, the whole concept around the Light Roast edition is to take a look at a person or an event, learn a little bit about their story and their history, and then try to bring some positivity or try to grab some takeaways so that we can apply to our lives. And yesterday, I had every intention of finding someone, speaking about them, but I also felt like it was important for me to be as authentic as we try to be, as Caroline and I try to be on this podcast. And so yesterday I was reading through a lot of inspiring stories, but it felt a little off because I felt like in speaking about them, I probably wouldn't have been able to truly portray that enthusiasm and positivity that I feel like my previous two episodes did. And so I kind of had to just take the day and I actively chose not to post yesterday. And I almost felt like I wanted to, announce that this week there wouldn't be any episode. But then I realized, part of the Light Roast edition is also bringing to light like the truth of what life is and how, it's not just let me just say everything's going to be great because, like even in the past two previous episodes, I talked a lot about, how there are hardships and, how life can be life and it's seen differently for all of us. So for this episode, I want to use yesterday as an example and hopefully there's some of you guys that can relate. Yesterday it wasn't a bad day at all. It was great. I got a lot of stuff done. But I think I just didn't feel like my normal, like, upbeat self. And so I guess as a takeaway on this episode would be, feel free to validate your feelings. I think that's extremely important. I think oftentimes, we like to push our feelings aside, or if something's creeping up, we try to put it to side because we're busy or we're focused on something and we want to fully focus on it and be engaged and do that, and we feel like we don't have time to really think through or search or try to explain why we're feeling a certain way or really getting down to the nitty-gritty, as to why we are feeling that way. So make sure you do take time to do that. I know sometimes it feels exhausting or it feels like, quote unquote, time consuming. But it's so important. It's so important because you could end up, and this has happened to me too in the past, where you sometimes, if it's like out of anger or you're frustrated at, something, you end up blowing up on the wrong person, or you end up making something so insignificant such a big deal. So just validate your feelings. Like, that's in the sense of anger. But, if you feel lost, you feel lonely, you feel upset, devastated or worried, all those things, like, they're all true emotions that we at some point in life experience. So don't beat yourself up about it. Like, one of the most important things that I tell people is if somebody comes up to you and tells you that their feelings were hurt by something that you did, you have no right to get mad at them for it, because it's like you're getting mad at them for feeling something, and you can't. How could you just tell somebody, well, don't feel that, or, well, that wasn't my intention. Well, it wasn't your intention, but you can't, you can't be upset at somebody for feeling something. Like, those are natural feelings that happen in life, and they're legitimate. They really are. And so validate your feelings. Like, don't be afraid to do that. And if you're not afraid to do it, just make time for it. It is important. And sometimes it's important to take a step back and really take a breather. I can think of numerous people in my life that I feel, just from the outside looking in, where I'm like, you need to chill out, and not in a bad way, just simply in a way where I feel like they deserve to take a break. And sometimes a lot of people will take a break when they've reached their breaking point, and it stinks, to have to get to that point where you just can't anymore and you have a breakdown. Again, sometimes maybe it is inevitable, and it just, things catch up to you before you know it. But yeah, that would be my first takeaway, is just validate your feelings. Take a breather if you have to. And that was something that I wanted to share with you guys. Again, like, I definitely want there to be a positivity kick to it. But in life, there's different, I guess, experiences, or everybody's experiencing things at different times. There's changes happening. And I know with all of this happening, with the whole virus and the economy, like, there's a lot of changes that have happened. Some of you guys maybe no impact at all. Maybe some of you guys have been super drastic. But I guess this is going to be my little positivity light roast thing, would be, just hang on. And I'm not saying this in a promising way. When people say like, it'll get better, I don't know if it will. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but I don't know if it will, but just hang on, keep riding the storm. Keep, doing your best, doing your part, and, just pushing through. It's kind of one of those things, like, yeah, the future is uncertain, but are you really willing to try? Are you really, this is a tongue twister. Are you really willing not to try, to see for the possibility of something great happening? So again, don't be afraid to feel what you feel, and, hang in there. I'm with you guys. Again, we love all of you guys who do listen with us, who do give us feedback, who are supporting us. We appreciate you guys very, very much. Like the Thursday episode that's going to be coming out, Carolina and I mentioned this, like, we do this so that you guys can listen in and hear us. But in the end, like, Carolina and I have been having a blast with this. It's been such a great journey, and I've been learning a lot personally. I've been able to have already conversations with people and be able to bring up a little something that I did, that I had learned because of for preparing for morning coffee. So again, thanks, and I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you guys 2 weeks from now, because next week is Carolina's turn, and hopefully with better spirits. Again, not that I'm not depressed or anything like that. Just, again, just want to be authentic with the emotions, and there's no reason to fake anything, right? We're all here to provide some good stuff. So here's my true, well, as always, even the previous 2 episodes have been true, but you guys get it. I'm rambling, so I'm gonna let you guys go. Thanks again for listening.